Can we talk a little bit about your English? Because I started my YouTube journey talking about English because I'm originally from Russia. I came with an accent and then I learned how to speak like an American. You sound like an American. Like, how did that happen?
I think it was a couple of things. So one was I was interested in music from a very early age, and especially like American and British bands. I loved Oasis. But like if you're singing that language, you have to kind of hear, for it to even rhyme or sound good, you have to kind of hear yourself. And so I think music was a big part of it as well. And then we moved around a bunch when I was a kid, and the one constant were international schools. And so, starting from a fairly early age, I was bilingual, but only lived in the States when I turned 18. And so there was some words that I had never really said out loud because I just read them and then internalized them over here. But it is funny. I mean, maybe had this experience too, where now, I'm been here for a while. I'm a citizen here now, but will never feel fully like I'm from here because I grew up in Brazil. But when I go to Brazil, I don't feel fully there. So kind of from both and from neither now.
Do you think language learning is going to be replaced by AI?
I really think about this because, I've been out of Brazil for long enough where all of the sort of like colloquialism or slang has moved on, and I just haven't lived there in a long time. And so I've used, even though I'm fluent in Portuguese, I'll now use Claude and say, hey, I'm about to send this to somebody who's like my age. Like, do I sound old or do I sound like out of date? And it'll be like, well, you might want to use this kind of language instead, or something, kind of nuanced there. I still think the value of learning the nuances of language is still important. We went to Korea with a lot of our Anthropic team in March, and Claude is actually quite good at Korean. We heard from people on the ground that it's the best of the models at Korean, but even so, they said it still sounds like a really cool Korean that like grew up in LA and then like moved back. And I was like, that's nuance. Like, I'm not sure.
American vibes.
Yeah. So how do we like continue to push that as well? But, we're definitely getting to the point where that sort of vision of like you can be in a country and interact that with,
yeah, AI is going to become natural at some point. And then do you think there's going to be a wearable that we're wearing and it just interacts for you, listens for you?
I think so, although there's also the value of having like technology free interactions. And so there's, I think, always still going to be that the appeal of, all right, I actually learned this language, I'm going to go and be with somebody in full presence rather than feel like we're being intermediated by technology.
That's super cool. I wanted to ask for advice for all the immigrants who are watching. Do you think if you want to build a company in AI, do you think it makes sense to move to Silicon Valley? Or again, with AI, doesn't matter where you are?
I think the barrier to creating products is really, shortened. We're now, before in Brazil, especially when I was growing up there wasn't really a talent market of really good engineers. I mean, now there is much more because there's been generations of companies that have been created, but that might not be the case for every single kind of city or every single country. AI can definitely help there as well. There's also such a broader set of, information and content around what to look for in a co-founder. How do you think about that initial idea? How do you build from there? How do you market? And what I've been really excited about is, whenever I talk to, for example, Brazilian entrepreneurs where I'm from, who are understanding uniquely Brazilian problems or unique Brazilian opportunities around our unique payment systems, how the economy works, like the public safety questions, and then applying AI or applying technology to those problems. I think there is a tremendous opportunity there. And one of the things I get excited about is, in the past, if you had an idea there, your only path would have been, well, I hope I can go fundraise from Silicon Valley VCs. I think there's much more of an opportunity to build that locally and then try to fundraise if you need to.
You don't need funds to build an MVP now.
You can at least get to that point where you've gotten something exciting.